Good news. We're so back. What are we doing out here at AutoZone? Looks like we got to change the mass airflow sensor because this thing acted weird on the highway, and then when getting gas, it was barely idling. So we're gonna slap this puppy in there. This stinks. That's better.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Thanks, little thing. All right, I snuck away to the camper to grab a 10-minute power nap, and I feel so much better. Practice one went pretty good. I was playing with the braking a little bit and wasn't still thrilled with the braking compound, so I put another brake compound in the front of the car, PFC 13s. And then that was really kind of it. Everything else is pretty good on the car. This track's big and scary, as it should be. Ran like a 210, but just like one cleanish lap at the end, not using any curbs or anything like that. The bus stop is gnarly. The bus stop you can just bomb straight in. I don't even know how much you have to brake for the entry. So practice 2 coming up. GLTC's out right now. I'm gonna get another lap or another few laps in, see how this brake compound does, maybe bet them in a little bit more. Still running the same old tires, so not really worried about pace. That's for this afternoon in qualifying, but not too bad. Finished P7, 208.49. I was really hoping to get in the 208s. I was not all that optimistic about it, just based on how I was feeling, but got a little confidence. I had some better tires on the car. Car felt a little better. The new brake compound, that 13 compound, feels way better. A lot more confidence on the brakes, so that helped me get the entry sorted out. So yeah, I think that I got to even look at the results, but we are within a few tenths of like third or fourth place. I think that's Kyle, our announcer, actively trying to break into his own vehicle. But yeah, awesome day. P7. Gonna go back to the trailer and grab some stuff and button it up. Go check out the concert for a little bit. But man, what a place. This track is getting more fun. What could go wrong?
K24 swapped. It is ready to go racing, and James is not shy about his aggression level, Arjuna.
And with the championship being split by 6 points, Eric Catil back in 5th in qualifying. It doesn't sound bad, but Eric Magnussen has a chance here at a track which we know will favor the torque of his car to try and take the championship lead and build an advantage into the final 2 rounds where Catil knows his car is going to be quick.
Time to go racing at Watkins Glen International for Ibach Grid Life Touring Cup. Round number 4 of 6. Green flag, and we're underway. And Michael Pagano got a great start in the background there. He was 4 wide in the middle of the field. The 3-car Magnussen's clear. Smedegaard and Houghton side by side into the first turn.
Smedegaard getting pushed out slightly there as they drop down through the 90, but now begin the climb up through the Nesses. Lots of chopping and changing further back. Looks like an issue on the left front for one of the dispatch a little bit further down through the field. Hamilton up the second, but only momentarily. Here comes Smedegaard back around the outside.
Front drive versus rear drive. Which car is going to help hit that number 600 for Darragh Distic down the backstretch. 3 wide for second place. And Magnussen's trying to get out of Dodge while everybody is going on behind them. 130 miles an hour into the bus stop.
Eric Catil being swarmed slightly, but does a decent job to stay in 6th position as they slot out through the inner loop. Martin Ibrahim on the inside there, holding on to that spot. Great racing now as they drop down into the loop with your leader breaking away.
Yeah, a little bit more of a disjointed start than I was expecting from this group. It looks like it's got everyone on the back foot. But now Smedegaard closing in big on Magnussen through turn 6. So it's Magnussen, Smedegaard, Houghton, first 3 cars, and Ibrahim fourth in. And here comes Catil in the number 82 Honda with Hilo. He's had some lunch issues all weekend, charging forward in the Ibach 350Z.
This is where the nimble cars may have a chance to try and pick their way through some of the issues that we'll see up front. I'm now wondering how competitive the battle between Magnussen and Smedegaard is going to be. Remember, Andy won 3 of the 4 races last time at Gingerman. He missed the previous round of the championship, but his car's quick enough that he might still be a championship contender if anything goes wrong for Magnussen and Catil, and Smedegaard needs to their points advantage.
Take your best 14 races across the year, so definitely still room for Andy Smedegaard to win this title. But Catil nurses a 6-point advantage over Eric Magnussen, but as they run, that would already put Magnussen as the championship leader. So there's the consideration. A little wiggle on the entrance to turn 11, but the gap to the lead is smaller than it was on the backstretch last time.
BMW's got 6.3 meter V8 under the hood. Got lots of torque, but as much as you want to think big power, big displacement equals big top speed, not always the case. It gets off the course as well. Some of the other cars.
deficit. Morrison drops the tire at the exit of turn 9.
Ibrahim's going to feel frustrated and instantly back up the inside coming into turn number 10 as up front getting closer potentially between our leaders. But with Ibrahim, though he's quicker, I think, than Morrison, he's going to be even more frustrated if he's stuck behind Catil. It's going to be about a second gap between Morrison and the chasing pack now. He might be comfortably clear in that podium spot as Halton dives to pit lane.
That was actually Ryan Kristoff that drove to pit lane too. So issues for the CRX, unfortunately. 7 minutes to go. Catil running up. A couple of drivers with some mechanical issues. I'd gotten an update about the Kristoff car a little while ago. It was a lower control arm failure, and Louis Gelati, not only is he supporting Alan Patton's time attack program, they were the ones that came through and re-welded it together. So that is all sorted, and that is probably a factor of curb jumping with a 1986 Honda that doesn't have super strong or large diameter suspension components.
Love the community within the paddock to see that assistance and help.
So if you remember back to Road Atlanta, we kind of had to do the same thing. I had to hang way back to try and get a lap early, just in case it was a caution or something. I know I'd have a good fast lap to move up the grid for race 3. Race 3 is gridded based on my fastest lap from this session. So James and I decided to play a little strategy. We're both probably around the same speed, is a little faster, definitely on the straights. So he said, hey, just follow me first lap. I'm good to go first lap. So we decided to hang back and get a first lap in early in this race. Apologies. Most of this race is me just trying to figure out if I can find a gap in traffic, where the time passes, where maybe I can get a fast lap with the traffic. But the pace disparity between the back of the pack, either some people might have been having issues, I don't know, because there's a huge speed delta, which is kind of unexpected. I don't remember seeing that in Atlanta. Atlanta was much more clean, where I could get a couple of passes done, hang back, find a gap, and get a good run at the end. So I'm gonna still post this whole race. If
feel free to watch it. Feel free to fast forward to the last lap, which is actually my fastest lap of the entire event. I'm on sticker tires, the car's feeling good, making good power up the hill, and I get a good gap. I only have to make one pass, but it was in a somewhat favorable spot. So hang tight. We'll go watch a fast lap at the end here, and then we'll wrap it up and see what happens at Impound.
As you can see, the car never made a dyno run. We tried a couple different pulls and it kept doing the same thing. About 4,600 RPM, the car would start to fall on its face. And it really felt on the track also like a limiter. I suspected maybe it was low on fuel, but I was pretty sure that we put enough fuel in before the race, so I was a little skeptical of the gauge if it was actually that low on fuel. I've never actually ran this car dry on the L15 setup, so I don't know how the high pressure fuel pump works and all that. So let's look at the data. We can find out exactly what happened in the data. Here I pulled up my dyno run. We have high pressure fuel pressure and the target, and we can see that target keeps going up, and that light blue with that white is the actual high pressure fuel pressure, and that's dropping drastically. Unfortunately did not notice that. I only saw these cuts happening on the dyno pull. We have manifold pressure, looks good because we're still getting air. Here, direct injection fuel pressure down, and here's a big telltale I should have known. Being in KPA, I'm used to PSI. That's 100. If we could look at during the race, it's supposed to be about 400 or 450. So that'll do it. Unfortunately, whenever I was on the dyno, I didn't have a chance or time to diagnose. I did get my laptop and was allowed to look at the log of the file to see if I was hitting a limiter or a safety limit on something. But with other cars lining up and basically having to fix it right there, I didn't realize that fuel level was actually the issue because the car was still running. So I was like, well, I'm not out of fuel. It should be able to make fuel a pull. So on the old carbureted cars, as long as it had fuel, it would make full power until it just stopped. So new learning experience for me. So the consequence of that is once you have to diagnose or change something on the car, hook a laptop up, or you leave the dyno, leave impound, you're disqualified. Instead of my third place start for race 3 tomorrow, I have to again start dead last. Basically the whole weekend results are scrubbed. We're kind of now just chasing, do the best we can, have fun, learn, and see how far we can get up the grid by the end of the day on Sunday.
I've been selling some stickers and I already got $76.
Over here, popping waters. All right, so we got to have a little fun last night. We got to go out on the drift carts from the Drift Bros over here. They are super fun. After a pretty rough day, that was definitely a highlight. Hopping in with these guys who are really, really good drivers. And Hurt from the OG Hoonigan was out there, and I got shuffled right in the middle of the train with him chasing me and me chasing the other guy in front for like 3 laps. And that was awesome, man. I definitely will be having a drift car in my future for sure. It's such a good time. So today we get to start from the back. We don't really get any more chances. The dyno yesterday was pretty frustrating. I was on the dyno and the car was cutting out about 4,500 RPM. I didn't diagnose it exactly on the dyno really quickly. I went back and looked in the trailer and the computer, and fuel pressure was dropping on the car.
This race by lap time, expectations to maybe shuffle the order a bit. We'll do that after Lena Chin and Ryan Christoph. Sounds like Lena Chin will not be taking the grid for this race. Ryan Christoph, I don't know about. We'll find out in just a moment's time. Time to go racing for IBOC GLTC race number 3. Remember, after this race, we invert a random number of the top 12 entrants for race number 4. Cars peeking out, trying to see that green flag. We're waiting, and there goes the green. IBOC Grid Life Touring Cup is underway from Watkins, Glen.
Popped outside of Andy Smedgard as we drop down into turn 1. They will be 3 lines per second, and Smedgard tries to hold, and he's going to push Ibrahim wide. Magnussen off with a free run. There's some contact off turn 1, and Andy Smedgard going slow.
No, Andy Smedgard has got a problem and has to come to a stop. We're trying to find a cutout. He can, but I didn't quite catch that contact of how it happened there, Arjuna. But we head up the S's. 3 wide in the middle.
Let's take another look at this. Smedgard is trying to just pinch Matthew Ibrahim there, and I wonder if it's just a little bit of contact into the right front, and maybe he's steering off into the front.
Yeah, just a little bit of contact, and it's going to be enough. Del more trouble. Michael Kilo's off at the inner loop. Big crash to drivers left. And that will certainly draw a full course yellow, and Matthew Ibrahim is off course as well. Yeah, Geraldo's back there, but it is the Hilo machine that has taken the biggest hit on corner entry here. And it was Ibrahim in the middle. They waffle on driver's right. And watch this as we go. Ibrahim, he had an issue. Something broke.
I would assume brake-related issue due to that contact, and yeah, nothing that Hilo could do. Rest of the field does a great job, and I think including Eric Catil there to scan for parts as the field gets all sorts of checked up, and I think that, unfortunately, Matthew Ibrahim slightly blindsided there by the technical issue he had.
That's a big hit for Hilo, unfortunately. That car is absolutely destroyed. It looked like, again, the contact with Smedgard at turn 1 definitely broke something on Smedgard's car. And definitely also took out something on Ibrahim's car. But this is going to reshuffle the deck here. Caution is out.
Let's take another look at it, though, Kyle. And it's that blue BMW with the black hood that's sliding off to the right.
He knew, see that the front wheels are towed in. Something broke.
The right front, I think, the one that's we should be looking at more
maybe,
because of where the
he was turning to the right.
Yeah,
right?
it would have been right front to left front on Smedgard's car, but you're right. Definitely something was not quite right there.
Yeah, and it was probably tough. I mean, driving it straight, you probably see the steering wheel off kilter and things of the sort, but then you go to hit the binders and it just doesn't do what you expect it to do. It's also possible that when you hit the brakes, anything that was left clinging together or hanging by a thread, all that energy going into the front tires, just really unfortunate. Feel for Michael. And Catil, James came into this with a lot of confidence. And we'll see if he can parlay that to a victory here.
Shout out to Evan Grip. We have not talked about much of the GLTC action this weekend. We marged against the top 15. This is the best that we've run all weekend.
Green flag. Eric Grip got a great restart. The leaders nicely nose and tail. But down to turn 1 to the 90. Magnussen overhauling to Catil. Catil looks up the inside of the 41 James.
I think that's one of those moves where you're not sure it's going to work. Grip gets a move made, and then more contact that sees a bit of margin, a couple of cars using the run-off. We're back up through the S's, and Catil builds alongside with James Housen.
Oh, he's trying, but Joel Morrison's going to try to pick which lane he wants to push as we climb the S's here. Daniel Polanco is a lap down and out of line. I'm not really sure what he's doing. Maybe contact with drivers here, but down the back stretch, side by side for second place. 132 miles an hour as the two Hondas roar into the inner loop.
And 2x2 8 with Morrison got the best in the battle before. Catil's going to get the best in the battle second here, I think, on the inside now to the inner loop. What a great respect shown there to make it work. Enough space to run through the bus stop chicane.
and run cleanly without losing too much time to the leader. If anyone tells you you can't race the bus stop in line, you just have to be more respectful than most racing is. They did it beautifully there. However, they gave up quite a bit of time to that race leader.
Not as much though as they have in the past, battling through the first lap of a race or a restart. So I think they won't be too disappointed. And Coutil, damage limitation right in terms of championship.
top 10 looked like a real fun one. So lots of stories for us to go and talk about. Oh, the pains of success for Eric Magnussen. 3 wins, 3 more % under the hood. Coutil was
weighing on. And James Houghton at Time Attack Type R on Instagram. He's a fun guy to follow. Eric, remainder of your top 10. Besic George Benabdi in his first weekend, P11, then Donald Louie, Kevin Zhu, Brandon Ganem, and Joe Tulo. Julio Crispin, P16. Ryan Kristoff, the tail of the field to 20th in that 1986 Honda CRX. The rest of the field here, this is where the...
All right, there's quite a bit that happened in race 3 to race 4. Race 3, no impound, no problem. We finished 20th place, all the way from the back in like 40th. Obviously, there was some carnage. Stubbs, who was in the 370Z, he's fine. That car, unfortunately, is toast. Really hate to see it. There were some penalties along with that, as well as Andy's car that was out of the race. I think that was done for the weekend. So there was a lot of shuffling and stuff even ahead of me that kind of helped me move up the order a little bit in that race. We're coming up to race 4. I had to grid. There's a little delay trying to get the run order because there's some penalties that happened. We found out that there was actually a lot of full course yellow passes that happened as well. Those are also a penalty that send you to the back. So I was sitting in grid, maybe about 20th, ready to go, and the grid worker told me you're in starting 14th. So we've gone from 42 up to 14. So we're going to start this race in 14th place, which is pretty sweet. Now I can start to sniff a top 10.
Through our starting lineup and roll through our field inversion. It's Jake Rawson on pole alongside 17-year-old Ayrton Grimm. This is going to be a lot of fun, Arjuna.
Ayrton Grimm has not been inside of the top 10, except at the very tail end of race number 3.
Well, he's going to get a chance to win one here.
Mazda RX-8, Vitus Arankas in the 95 BMW M3 has got Ryan Christoph for company. He's had some dyno issues, so great to see him in 14th with Jeff Donati and Robbie Veerhut slotting into.
And it's just going to be more rewards weight to carry into Lime Rock.
Yeah, wide weight going into a track where you are going to be a little less suited. What we have also seen across of all races this weekend is a lot of confusion on starts, where drivers are popping out of line and trying to poke their head to spot the green flag. They're not trying to necessarily jump it intentionally, but by doing so,
some out there as well. Hopefully this race is wild in the most entertaining of ways. Here we go, Jake Rawson on pole alongside Ayrton Grimm. Watkins, Glen International, IBOC GLTC Race 4. Green flag and we're underway from WGI.
Once again, we fan out on the drop down towards the 90. Don't think we're going to be 3 wide in the front like we were earlier this morning, but instead we're 3 wide for 3rd position, and Wolfbom in the center of all of that as we shuffle out wide in a couple of cases, but most importantly, everyone out of the opening corner safely, and plenty of side-by-side, including for the lead as we shuffle up through the S's.
Ayrton Grimm takes the lead away from Jake Rawson. He's just got to run. He's had some trouble all weekend long, hasn't really had that car operating to the best of their liking, but now has the top spot as we roar down the back straightaway into the inner loop at 130 miles an hour.
126. Oh, what a shame. Jake Rawson able to slide back though in front, uses the draft to good effect. Wolfbom in 3rd now in that ASM blue and grey machine on either side. And Eric Till, James Houghton and Eric Magnussen haven't really made up too much ground as we drop down into the group for the first time. Looks like Eric Till starting to work his way forward though now.
Racecraft in that 82 cockpit is what could win him this race. Rawson takes it back from Grimm. Now Matt Waldbaum is there, and side by side between Bursack and Catil. Catil going the long way around here at the toe of the boot.
He's put himself maybe in a bit of a precarious position. Ooh, if he loses any momentum, there could be a train that runs up the inside that includes Eric Magnussen. Tell you what, Catil's got off the corner very nicely indeed, and he'll swarm up towards turn 8.
Joel Morrison gave him a shove coming up the hill with that V6 torque. With the J-Series swapped S2000, that was critical for him. And now Catil's got Womble all crossed up out of turn 8 as Grimm fields the 90 car, Matt Waldbaum in the review here.
Great fighting there. Catil now though feeling a bit more pressure as he opened the door, but he's closed it back out of turn 9. So great move there from former championship leader to slot in front. And now 2 cars between him and Eric Magnussen. James Houghton has not really made the same sort of progress that Catil or Magnussen have started to. Behind Houghton, really starting to build.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's been a bit of a tentative start, hasn't it? Here comes Waldbaum. Cracking the door open on Ayrton Grimm, but can't quite get alongside him. Catil up to 4th place in the 82 as Joel Morrison gets by Womble, and then championship and weekend points leader Eric Magnussen is lurking in behind. And this is the track position advantage over the 3 car that Catil needs, and he's just hoping that these front 3 start to battle.
Guess what? That's exactly what's happening as we work up through the S's. Eric Magnussen has got a wall of car in front of him. Which lane do you go to? Morrison clearly has got a fast car in a straight line this weekend, and Magnussen's going to follow suit. The number 3 Dale-inspired car has got a 6.3-litre V8 under the hood. It's not necessarily the punchiest at the top speed. It's coming out of the corners where it's really, really powerful, and he slots in front of Warmbot in that 204.
Yeah, this battle for second is going to get hot. I think Rawson is in a great position because Grimm looks a little on defense, doesn't he? He's not quite pressuring the leader. Waldbaum a little wide into 6th, though. That'll let Catil gain a bunch of ground. But Joel Morrison, now that he's dispatched, trouble, and that's a big one for him. place. This is the chance to battle, but there it is, the full course yellow we were expecting. Maybe a quick pickup here. I don't think this race is over yet, but we'll see how quickly the safety crews can get over there and get that 921 off the road. No replay of it, by the way.
It's also going to depend on how hard he hit the wall and if there was any remedial work that's needed to be done. But again, it's not the first time that we've seen a moment through there. 6 to first.
Lights are out on the safety car. Finally, we'll get back green and get a couple of laps in here for Eibach GLTC. Still 7 minutes on the board, at least 2, maybe 3. If the racing gods look down upon us for a little longer here this weekend. They're not cooperating today, are they? But a lot of tire warming going on. Remember, all these cars are on a selection of 200 treadwear tires, mostly from Falcon and Maxxis and Kumo are the popular choices here in this series. Jake Rawson is in command. Ayrton Grimm is second, then Matt Waldbaum, Aaron Cattell, Joel Morrison, your top 5. Couple laps left to go. There's your tire choices. Most of the top 10 is on Falcons.
Quick turnaround for Ayrton Grimm from the Rush race into this Eibach GLTC race.
Green flag, we're back underway. And Matt Waldbaum goes on defense, but Cattell with the shove from Joel Morrison. And he's going to pass Waldbaum and maybe Ayrton Grimm and maybe take the lead away into turn 1. What a shove from the green S2000.
Not quite first, but it might be off the corner. Restarted this race in 4th position. What great coordination between the S2000 and the Civic as they climb up through the S's, and the push is going to maybe see Cattell have the inside on the rise up into the inner loop.
That was huge, and Joel Morrison better be on the Christmas card list for Aaron Cattell Racing now. He takes the top spot down the back straightaway, but look at that gold number 3 M3. Poking out, looking for 4th place into the inner loop, 131 miles an hour from the leaders into that turn 5 area.
And they were almost 3 wide, but I think they all single filed out behind Matt Waldbaum. Eric Magnussen tucks in then to 5th position if I've got that right. And we should have another 2 laps after this, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right. Times look good here. Cattell into turn 6 now, in command. And this could, with Magnussen buried in 6th place here, I don't think it's not going to steal him the weekend because Magnussen's won 3 events, but it certainly could tighten the points picture back up a lot.
And that's all he's really looking to do. He knows that car is going to be good at line front, going to be good at the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca as well. Off the exit of the corner, can Rawson hold on to 3rd position and a spot on the podium after restarting this race up front. Magnussen pulls alongside of Matt Waldbaum. I'm not quite sure there's anything the ASM machine's going to be able to do to defend the BMW with the power off the board.
right, that'll do it. I cannot believe we made a top 10 out of that last race, considering where we started even at the beginning of the day in 2 races. So ended on a high. That's awesome. The cars won one piece. I was so thankful going on that front straightaway over the start finish and just knowing that cars in one piece. I'm good. Everybody's good. Thank you, Andrew and Jack, for crewing for me this weekend. You guys kicked butt. I could not race without you guys. So thank you so much for coming all the way out there. Thank you, Melissa, my wife, for taking care of Mr. Bean, a little hot dog at home, and the house and everybody. Mom, so thank you. Love you, Mom. Miss you, Dad. Let's go to Lime Rock.